Hi guys, Mike here again. Hey, I want to talk today about a couple of Greek words. One of them is Zoe, which is spelt down the bottom there. And it means the breath of God. It means the power, the divinity. It's actually comes from a Greek translation of Genesis 2:7, where God breathed into Adam. And the focus here is on, with that breath, is on the tree of life. Now remember, there's two trees in the Garden of Eden, the tree of life and of the knowledge of good and evil. And when God breathed, the focus there was that it's coming from the tree of life. He's breathing his life into our life. An interesting thing with those trees is one represents God, the tree of life, and the other represents, in a way, the world, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Zoe in Genesis 2:7 is the condition of living, or the state of being alive. It means, especially in areas of healthiness, happiness, exuberance, energy, vitality. So that's Zoe, pronounced Zoe. Another Greek word comes from the same root, and that's pronounced Zoa. And that means to be alive, to stay alive, to revive, to recover. Essentially, it means the ability to speak life into. Now, this thought, you can't speak life into if you don't have life in you. To speak life into something, you have to have life in you so that it'll flow out. Compare Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones. And God says, what do you see? He tells him what he sees, and he says, now prophesy to those bones. And when he said prophesy, he was giving Ezekiel the authority to speak. He was giving him the authority to speak, but the authority to prophesy to the dry bones, to the nation, to the families, to the kids, to the communities. And we need to ensure when we speak and we prophesy that it's coming out of the tree of life, not out of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We need to make sure that when we prophesy and speak into our wives and into our families and into our church and our leaders, that we're speaking out of the presence of God in our life. Because the place of agreement is the place of alignment. And the hope we're holding out for comes from the presence of God. Hope is alive. Hope has a name. Hope's name is Jesus. If you don't have Jesus, you've got no hope. You're hopeless. So we prophesy out of the tree of life. And if we live out of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, then our prophetic words will be cumbersome. They'll be laborious. They'll be legalistic. They'll be full of boundaries and man-made limitations. But when we speak and when we prophesy out of the tree of life, having that essence in us, that's where we live, then we prophesy health, and we prophesy healing, and we prophesy revival. And if people are ill or sick, we prophesy recovery. Recovery of sight, recovery of property, recovery of family, recovery of marriages, recovery of relationships, recovery of backslidden children. It's all about discernment. Be encouraged, speak life, but speak it out of the tree of life. Bless you heaps. Catch you later.